The GSD points to ongoing issues at Wellington Front, where raw sewage is reportedly still seeping through the city walls and into the sea at Queensway Quay Marina, impacting the marine ecosystem. The Shadow Minister for the Environment also highlights public health concerns.
This is a really important heritage wall. There's in the case of Wellington Front, they were talking about the sewage that's seeping out of this wall of Gibraltar, forming part of a history where we have a walkway which is very nicely decorated, where we encourage tourists to go, but it's seeping of sewage, as we've seen in the videos. It's becoming very hazardous, it smells very strong, and I don't think it's given the best impressions. But the other problem is a human element. There's a lot of people that do training there, there's a lot of, as I said, social clubs, tourists that go and walk through the wall, and my understanding is that a lot of people have had to do the exercises indoors because of the strong smell and the stench which is emanating from the wall which is part of our heritage. It's part of the exterior bastion wall from town, and it is something that people regularly come to us and complain about, and we think should be dealt with, not least because of the proximity to town, and I think the public health concerns and the hazards which could come across with it.
Well, technical services have been actively working on the sewage system in town, removing 100 tonnes, they say, of debris and relining it to prevent these leakages, which should have solved the problem at Wellington Front. So how recently have these concerns been raised?
These are issues that we've raised time and time again. The issues with respect to the sewage relining is something that has been plaguing Gibraltar winter after winter. And if I could recall the interview given by the CEO of the Technical Services Department, he quoted, I believe, that these issues were not strictly restricted to the heavy rainfalls of the last few weeks, but this was also something that was ongoing through an entire winter month. We have seen over the course of the weekend, there was a report by, I believe, one of the environmental groups, I think the Nautilus Project, confirmed that there were seepages from the Wellington Front leading directly to the Queensway Quay Marina, and they could identify a source stream which went from one place to the other.
The GSD say after 14 years in office, the government must take full political responsibility for these failures, saying civil servants are left to firefight due to a lack of long-term planning.
To fix it, we just need to pay more attention and throw more money at the problem. Part of the interview that was given the other day quoted that we need to reline around 100 metres of piping. This should have been done with a bit more foresight. We've had in the last 15 years increasing developments, new housing estates, new private developments. You'd think that we'd address the infrastructural issues that come with this.
Finally, an agreement regarding the waste treatment plant has still not been finalised. It's something that you have raised recently again in Parliament.
This is not treaty negotiations we're talking about here. This is a contract to build a wastewater treatment plant. So we're wondering whether it's technical, the issues, can we build it, is it actually feasible, or is it financial, is it the commercial ones? And if there's no money to build it, then just say that we haven't got the capital to build it. I believe that the image that we're giving to people, and then not only the image that we're giving to tourists, but for ourselves, the fact that we're pumping raw sewage into the sea is not something that we should be proud of.
The opposition urgently calls for the government to prioritise environmental health and to finally deliver a greener and cleaner Gibraltar.